Coming up next on KPBS Evening Edition, another day, another lawsuit in the city of San Diego. This time, it's hotel workers taking on a proposed new tax.
And the public will get a chance to weigh in on a plan to charge SDG&E customers for wildfire damages. KPBS Evening Edition starts now.
Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Joanne Farian.
I'm Dwayne Brown.
A San Diego union today filed a lawsuit over the convention center expansion plan. Unite Here, Local 30, represents hospitality and tourism workers in the county. KPBS Metro reporter Katie Orr joins us now with details on the suit. Katie, what is the union opposed to?
Well, Joanne, the union says the way San Diego wants to pay for the convention center expansion is illegal. The city is asking hotel owners to vote on whether or not they want to raise their room taxes, and then that revenue would be used to fund the majority of the convention center expansion. But the union says the entire city should vote on the tax increase.
What's the city's response been to this suit?
Well, I spoke with City Attorney Jan Goldsmith today, and he said he's really perplexed about why the union has filed this lawsuit. He's already said that he is going to file a validation lawsuit asking a judge to determine whether or not this funding mechanism is legal. But he's waiting until the hotel owners complete their vote, because if they reject the plan, then the whole thing is moot anyway. And that vote is expected to be complete in April.
Okay, KPBS Metro reporter Katie Orr.
Hundreds of union janitors, security officers, and airport service workers staged a march and rally for better wages from San Diego to Sacramento this afternoon. The group says they've made strides in turning poverty jobs into dignified ones, but the corporations they serve have gotten too greedy.
Things keep going the way they're going, and we've already started to see a lot of civil unrest, and we don't need that to happen here.
Louis Morales says San Diego is strong enough and big enough to take care of its own workers.
And to do that, you've got to start with the small gears, because the small gears make the big gears run. And I'm here basically to support them, 100%.
These are some of San Diego's middle-class working families, all members of the Service Employees International Union, or SEIU. There's about 2,800 in San Diego. Many of them are contracted to clean office buildings, the airport, or provide security services. Jessica Lopez represents the union. She says the days of workers sharing the wealth with corporations is long over.
CEOs got a little greedy after the 1970s, and what we've seen is a downward spiral for working and middle-class people.
Lopez says the union was inspired by the Occupy movement and used census and IRS data to show the top 1% has effectively lowered the salaries of the middle class.
For working-class families, we've been held back by the 1% so much that we should have been earning $10,900 more a year. And for middle-class families, we found that we should be earning $9,200 more per year.
Lopez says their fight is for more than just union workers. They want to win for people going through foreclosure, the unemployed, and all middle-class workers struggling to make ends meet. She said the bus ride to the protest is only the beginning of the union's efforts to improve the plight of working-class people throughout the state.
Today's march and rally is just a warm-up for the National May Day event sponsored by labor groups across the country.
The Marine Corps says it may be weeks before we know why two of its helicopters collided in Arizona this week. Officials have identified the 7 Marines killed in the accident on Thursday. 6 of them were from Camp Pendleton. The 7th was assigned to the Marine Corps Air Station Yuma. The 2 helicopters were on a nighttime training mission when they collided. The Marine Corps is planning to withdraw 10,000 troops from Afghanistan within 6 months. The U.S. will cut the number of bases it has in the region from 250 last fall to 28 by October. Afghan forces will take on more responsibility for security.
San Diegans will be able to weigh in on a proposal to have ratepayers pick up the tab for uninsured costs of wildfires. San Diego Gas and Electric wants to bill customers for future fires, as well as the costs of the 2007 wildfires. That's when 2 people were killed, 1,300 homes destroyed. Downed power lines are blamed for 2 of those fires. Now, the State Public Utilities Commission says it will hold a public hearing on the request. That's scheduled for April 5th from 4 to 9 p.m. at the Alvar Shriners Memorial Auditorium in Kearny Mesa. You might want to make sure your gas tank is full tonight instead of waiting till you go to work on Monday. Analysts say gas prices could surge by 10 to 20 cents a gallon over the weekend. This morning, the average for self-serve regular was $4.23 a gallon. The Utility Consumers Action Network says prices are spiking because a major refinery in the Los Angeles area unexpectedly shut down. Several other refineries were already offline. So what does singer Bruno Mars have to do with a scandal at the Mar Fairgrounds and the mystery of how the city of San Diego solved its budget crisis? Joanne's talking about that with her guests at the roundtable.
Trouble at the fair this week, and San Diego Mayor Jerry Sanders makes a surprising announcement about the city's budget. Mayor Sanders says libraries will stay open longer and he'll hire more police officers. Where did all the money come from? To answer this burning question, voiceofsandiego.org CEO Scott Lewis and Jonathan Horn, North County reporter with UT San Diego. Thank you both for being here.
Absolutely.
Scott, let's begin with you. So what is a structural deficit versus just a regular deficit?
Right. Well, every year the city is required to balance its budget. That's the law. But the structural budget deficit is the idea that the city's not set up to take in as much money as it's set up to spend. So every year, up until now, for several years, they've had to do gimmicks and one-time revenues, pull from reserves, or just straight games and dogs and ponies and all kinds of tricks to really shove it through. And now I guess what they're saying is that now revenues match up with expenses, and that's kind of a big deal. And what's interesting about it, there's a few things. The mayor used to say there was no structural budget deficit, and so for him to say that they fixed it means that it's an acknowledgement that there was one there. And he used to poo-poo the idea that it was a big deal that they were using gimmicks and tricks and one-time revenues to get through the year. And now he's saying it's a very proud achievement to not have to do that. Basically, they've seen a dramatic increase in the revenues they pull in from sales and hotel room taxes and property taxes. And they haven't released the numbers, the full budget yet, but they have a lot of pledges for what they'll do.
Well, we got sort of a page-and-a-half news release from the mayor's office. I think what it said is they will end really with a $16 million surplus. But like you say, very little detail, because this is a fairly big deal. You would think we might have had more sort of financial information in terms of how they did this.
The mayor's office has always vacillated between wanting to highlight how bad things are so that they can get some important things done to wanting to highlight how good things are because it shows how good they are. And so this is another example of that. They want to reframe the debate about how good everything is, where in fact, they're going to have to grapple now with the fact that the city's infrastructure, its roads, its facilities, all of that are still crumbling. They're not even paying enough to keep them in the same state that they are now, let alone in repairing backlogs. And so we still have some serious problems, but they wanted to change the debate, and we'll see if it worked.
Do you think, John, when regular people, taxpayers, voters, sort of hear this kind of news, we've solved the structural deficit problem, they care or they know what that means, or?
I think they want to know how it's going to affect their lives. I mean, if they have the library open a little longer and you want to go check out a book or use the internet, there's your opportunity. If you want to get involved in a program or set up a pickup basketball game at a rec center, there's where it affects your life. So I think that's the question they ask. How does it affect my life? I don't think they would be harping on the political bureaucracy or the bureaucratic tone of City Hall because they have their own lives to worry about.
And Scott, do you think this will affect the mayoral race at all? I mean, on the heels of this sort of good news, could this help one of the candidates, hurt some of the candidates?
Well, sure. Carl DeMaio had a press conference not long ago, a big one, where he was saying, look at this rec center, it's closed. I'm going to do blah to make sure it changes. The more that's taken away from a candidate like that, the harder it's going to be. On the other hand, making the case that the city's far behind is not that difficult right now. And so, Bonnie DeManis, I think, is the other one that this really affects because she's the one that's most clearly attached her own candidacy to the mayor's track record at City Hall. She says she'll be basically continuing his footsteps in the sand. And so, Nathan Fletcher will say, now we can look to the future and Bob Filner is talking about China or something. I don't know where he is.
I want to touch briefly on something we just reported earlier in the news about a lawsuit. We've been talking a lot lately about this new hotel tax in order to raise money to expand the convention center.
Right.
And now the union that represents hotel workers say, we're suing. You can't do this. Tell us about that, Scott.
Well, in 2004, voters twice rejected a hotel room tax increase that would have moved the tax rate on hotel rooms from 10.5 to 12.5. Now that's already been done through a separate mechanism where the hoteliers passed it themselves. Now they want to do that again and go all the way up, even up to 15% or more, where that money would then be used to build a convention center. But they're not taking it to a vote of the people. And in essence, what they're doing is raising their own property taxes and then uniformly passing that along as a line item on hotel room bills. It would be 3% for those right next to the convention center, 2% for those around it, and then 1% all the way throughout the rest of the city. And so the question is that legal? Can you raise taxes without a vote of the people? In California, you supposedly can't. And so the hotel workers might seem like an odd group to sue on that, but the reason they're doing that is to gain leverage over this discussion of who runs the convention center, because they've been frustrated that the hoteliers want to take some control away from the convention center corporation itself, where they might lose hotel union jobs that actually get some of the business from the convention center. And so it's a very complex horse trading going on right now, but the hotel workers want leverage, and this is a very good argument.
Okay, we're going to move on to our next big story this week. Governor Jerry Brown replaced 5 members of the board that oversee the Mar Fairgrounds. One new member, Tom Chino of Chino Farms, released a critical state audit noting improper payments to employees and other violations. Chino resigned last week, apparently in protest over lack of openness and board inquiries into conflict of interest allegations directed at Chino's lawyer. The board also settled a dispute with the California Coastal Commission, which involved big financial penalties and giving up land use for overflow parking. This was your story, John, this week. You've been following this. So let's start off with the board, first of all. How do you get to be on this board?
Well, you have to be appointed by the governor, and it's a 4-year term, and these people are unpaid. And basically, the governor's office now is actively weighing hundreds of applicants to be on several boards across the state, and one of them is the 22nd District Agricultural Association, which is the state agency that runs the fairgrounds. So there's no timeline for him to announce it, check every day, and then all of a sudden they announce 2, 3, and they could do up to 5 because there's 5 spots open on the board.
If it's unpaid, why do you want to be on this board?
Well, you do get a lot of perks. You get a parking spot up front, and everybody that's been to the fair knows that parking is at a premium. You get access to the turf club, you get into all the events, and you get tickets for the events, and if you can justify who gets them, and if there's a business purpose, you can bring people that you know, and they're always good seats.
Wasn't that part of the scandal? The UT reported on this.
Yes.
What happened with these tickets?
Well, what had been happening is that these fair board members had been getting 154 tickets to the fair, and then they get at least 6 tickets to every concert, which is a box and with a prime seat. And so the law is that if you're going to give away the tickets, you have to justify the business purpose. And these fair board members were not doing that through their agency's disclosure forms. For instance, Adam Day has 5 children, but he got 12 tickets to Bruno Mars. The state wanted to know who those 12 tickets went to. So that's where the FPPC investigation came through. It concluded last week. The fairgrounds board members divulged who got the tickets. The state said, okay, sent a warning letter to the fairgrounds and said, in the future, report this more thoroughly, otherwise no harm.
Now, I heard you say something really interesting earlier, Scott, about this being one of the most valuable properties, perhaps, in the state. I think that was you who said it. Yes.
More. I mean, think about where it's at, right next to the surf, and it's obviously in that valley. It's just a beautiful and gigantic piece of land. The people who live around it have always had a very awkward relationship with it. On the one hand, they're proud of this facility and this wonderful area. On the other hand, they're frustrated with all the crowds and the mess and the trouble that come in with the fair, with the concerts, with all kinds of things. And so they've actually always, or in the last year or two, wanted to purchase as Del Mar citizens that facility so they could keep it from getting bigger or changing. On the other hand, there's just a very harsh political struggle going on about who controls that very valuable property. And so this is the product of that. This is the symptom of that. There's going to be allegations and investigations and then mismanagement allegations and then board changes and power struggles. And this is the kind of product that you get from that.
You also reported on they had some issues, an ongoing struggle in terms of land use and what they were doing. Right. How did that resolve itself?
Well, you can really trace it back, and it might resolve over the next month, but you can really trace it back to the late quarter of 2009 when the fairgrounds released this master plan for expansion that called for a hotel on the property. And Del Mar, Solana Beach, and a coalition of government agencies that oversee the wetlands that are next to the fairgrounds basically went ballistic. Solana Beach was going to spend $25,000 to examine this environmental report. They tripled it to $75,000. It's been the basis for a lawsuit that's going on now about them not basically investigating how these new developments would affect the environment. So they dropped the hotel, and the Fair Board approved some settlement points that have not yet been released publicly, but they're up for discussion in Solana Beach probably in 2 weeks, and then with the other public agencies probably within the month. And then we'll know just what the land use future is. But one thing's for certain, they want to improve the track to bring the Breeders' Cup, and they want to replace the exhibit halls because they're over 50 years old and they're leaking.
Definitely, we're going to have to follow this story.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Jonathan Horn and Scott Lewis.
Thank you.
It's the movie a lot of folks are talking about, Act of Valor, a fictional story featuring real Navy SEALs. The filmmakers say they set out to make the first authentic action film, and it's very different from the usual Hollywood fare. No blanks here, those are real bullets. The story from our culture desk in just a moment. This is KPBS Evening Edition.
Tonight on KPBS at 8, it's PBS's longest-running public affairs series, with top journalists analyzing the week's news and its effects on Americans. Gwen Ifill hosts Washington Week. At 8:30, it's Need to Know. Broadcast media and the web unite for news for a plugged-in audience. Then at 9, Frontline, an investigation of child death cases involving medical evidence that was later found to be unreliable. That's all tonight on KPBS.
Next time on Frontline, inside the worst nuclear disaster of the century. Told by the people who were there. For the first time, the whole story. Inside Japan's nuclear meltdown, a Frontline investigation.
Tuesday at 10 on KPBS. KPBS Evening Edition is made possible by Joan and Irwin Jacobs and by
Act of Valor is a fictional film directed by a pair of former stuntmen using active-duty Navy SEALs instead of actors.
KPBS arts reporter Beth Accomando looks at what makes it different from the typical Hollywood action film.
Sir, leave 2 men here.
Navy SEALs are a tight-knit community that doesn't readily welcome outsiders into its ranks. But Mike Mouse McCoy and Scott Waugh found a way in.
Being ex-stuntmen really allowed us to have a common language that we communicate with, so there was a common bond between us and the SEAL teams.
But we've never seen anything like the brotherhood of the SEAL teams. You know, that was almost, we thought, only existed in mythology.
To us and those like us, damn few.
Putting that bond on screen was the starting point for the film Act of Valor, says co-director Mike McCoy.
We spent the better part of a year researching this project at Coronado, immersed in the community, hearing the stories, connecting with the men, really understanding the depth of the brotherhood and the sacrifice that's gone on in the last 10 years.
Early on, they realized that the only way to make the film work was to use active-duty Navy SEALs instead of actors.
When you would watch a Navy SEAL walk around and he's in full armor and kitted out, And you just see the comfortableness he has, because that's what he wears every day.
It's real in a way actors can't imitate.
I got her!
The filmmakers wanted to create a fictional narrative, but one based on real acts of valor by Navy SEALs.
Stories that have actually happened to men on the battlefield that are really inspiring and truly amazing, almost unbelievable. And that really showcased the heart and the depth of the brotherhood of the community.
Then the filmmakers had to convince the higher-ups to go along with the project.
You know, once we figured out a battle plan that really augmented existing training evolutions, so no assets were diverted to the making of this film, I think that really worked for everybody. It's also why it took 2.5 years to make.
3, 2, 1!
Once the SEALs were on board, they began to take an active part in the creation of the film.
It'd be nice if I can be here, we're talking, Wymie's addressing this threat. We see this guy move, frag out. Frag out!
They would write the ops plans for every mission. They would design the operation, we would build the camera plan, integrate, become really one platoon, and go hit the target.
The target was to shoot the film as realistically as possible.
Action!
We set out to make, the first authentic action film. So there's no CGI in this film. It's quite a bit of live fire.
Going hot.
I was actually very surprised learning that it was a live fire.
Former Marine Sean McLean trained as a combat photographer and is now a filmmaker in San Diego.
Everything they did from the room clearing to the way they stacked up to prepare to enter the room was just spot on.
Wymie! Lock it down!
We really wanted the audience to be immersed into their world. Instead of sitting back and watching it, we wanted to put the audience actually in the boots for a lot of the sequences so you can feel what it's like to be a Navy SEAL from their point of view.
The way they held the shot long to show you how he came in the room and he did his sweep to the room before engaging the target. When you go in there, time kind of slows in a way. The adrenaline's pumping, everything goes on, and you got to process a lot of information real quick. I think they did a lot of shots that worked well to kind of put you inside the SEAL's head in a way.
Clear! All clear!
Some are calling the film propaganda for the military. The filmmakers denied that the project was ever intended as a recruitment film for the Navy.
If you look at the film, for us as filmmakers, it's important to know we had complete creative control. And we wanted to showcase, and I think they did as well, the sacrifice involved with this job. They wanted to show the risk involved, and it's a really tough place to earn a living.
I think they did bring some things to the table that a lot of other films don't bring. They showed, guys go in, they come back hurt, they come back dead.
But the Navy did put their seal of approval on the film, and the portrait is ultimately positive.
I think this might be like the patriotic movie of this kind of maybe decade or so. I think certain kind of minds gravitate to the military in general. I think for that type of person, I think that definitely would excite and turn that person on and probably maybe even help make that decision of definitely this is something I want to do.
Scott Waugh says it's just entertainment. But he and McCoy did develop a deep admiration for the men, and they hope the film may change misconceptions about Navy SEALs.
Before you think they're just Terminator Rambo, solo man going in on his own, and you realize, no, it doesn't work that way. It's a massive team effort. That's what people are saying. It's kind of like a video game. Like, their lives are not video games. There's no reset button.
The film avoids overt politics in order to focus on the men who risk their lives in service of their country. It gives us a rare glimpse into the world of Navy SEALs. And while active duty SEALs surpass actors in their ability to execute a mission, they come up short when they have to deliver lines. In the end, active valor delivers some spectacular and genuinely tense action and makes us appreciate the unique skill set of Navy SEALs.
That was KPBS arts reporter Beth Accomando.
Active Valor opens today throughout San Diego. This is KPBS Evening Edition.
I'm Judy Woodruff. On the next News Hour, the candidates' tax proposals, plus Mark Shields and David Brooks. That's Friday on the PBS News Hour.
The American people have named PBS the most trusted source of news
and public affairs
for the 8th year
in a row.
Trust.
The American people have spoken.
Thank you.
On Nova, a disaster unfolds in gripping detail.
Flying along the coast is horrifying.
Now, eyewitness accounts and new evidence on the ground help scientists piece together the most complete picture yet of what triggered the catastrophe.
The energy that drove this earthquake had been building up for a couple of 100 years.
10 billion tons of water.
Reaching at times the speed of a jet aircraft.
An in-depth investigation of Japan's killer quake.
Wednesday at 9 on KPBS.
On the public square tonight, a Twitter conversation about my interview with City Attorney Jan Goldsmith earlier this week. Goldsmith was here to discuss whether the city violated a labor law by supporting the pension reform ballot initiative. As we reported, the city won 2 court cases this week, both challenging the reform measure. Chairman of the San Diego Republican Party, Tony Kriveric, sent me this tweet after the interview. City Attorney Jan Goldsmith held his own on KPBS Evening Edition, while Joanne Farian, was channeling her inner Lorena Gonzalez. And of course, we know she's head of the San Diego Labor Council. My response, nice to know you're watching. And Kriveric snaps back, I expect better. Did Lorena write the questions? And finally, after Lorena Gonzalez tells Kriveric to give up being a bully, he writes back, just calling it like I see it. We've got enough pretend journos in this town. And he says, I don't need to join that club. Well, if you want to weigh in on this Twitter conversation, or maybe you want to start your own thread, you can follow us on Twitter. And of course, you can like us on Facebook, or you can always email me, jfarian@kpbs.org.
Recapping tonight's top stories, a hotel workers union is challenging a proposal for increased room taxes. It's designed to pay for expanding San Diego's downtown convention center. Hotel owners will vote on the idea, but the union says city voters should have a say. The Marine Corps says it could be weeks before investigators know why 2 of its helicopters collided over the Arizona desert Thursday night. The crash killed 7 Marines, 6 of them stationed at San Diego's Camp Pendleton. And gas prices could shoot up even higher this weekend. Analysts are expecting an increase of 10 to 20 cents per gallon by Monday because a refinery near Los Angeles has been shut down.
Before we leave you, we have an update on that giant statue of a kissing couple on the San Diego waterfront. The work known as Unconditional Surrender will stay right where it is through the middle of May. It was supposed to be removed at the end of this month, but today the Port Commission okayed another extension. The statue was originally put up at Tuna Harbor in 2007, and it was only supposed to be there for a year. This is the last extension, though. The statue needs some repair work. Well, you can watch and comment on any of the stories you saw tonight on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. The Weather Service says a cold storm is on the way with rain expected by Sunday night.
The mountains could also get some snow as well. We leave you with a look at the forecast. Have a great weekend.
Good night.